Welcome to Lotus Lane Daily. I'm glad you're here. Today's wisdom is for anyone going through something hard. You know that feeling when you look at your career and realize you have been standing in the same spot for a while? Not falling, just not moving. The promotion you assumed would come hasn't. The work that used to stretch you now runs on autopilot. People who started after you have moved past you, and you find yourself doing the same tasks, in the same role, wondering when exactly the forward motion stopped and whether it is ever going to start again. It is a strange kind of unhappy. Nothing is wrong, exactly. You have a job, you are competent, but something has gone flat, and you cannot quite name it, and that is part of what makes it hard to talk about. So you carry it quietly, and it sits there, week after week. If that is you tonight, let's look at it honestly, because a plateau is not the end of anything, because even though it can feel that way. Why a plateau feels worse than it looks. From the outside, a stuck career looks fine. You are employed, you're doing the work, no alarms are going off. That is exactly why it is so isolating. There is no crisis to point to, no obvious villain, nothing dramatic enough to justify how heavy it feels. So you start to wonder if the problem is just you, if you are being ungrateful, if you have peaked, if this flat stretch is simply the rest of your working life arriving early. Here's what is actually happening. Humans are built to need growth. Not necessarily promotions or titles, but the felt sense of getting better at something, of moving towards something. When that sense disappears, a quiet restlessness sets in, and we are not always wired to recognize it for what it is. We just feel low and bored, and vaguely ashamed of feeling low and bored when everything is technically okay. That restlessness is not a flaw, it is a signal. It is the part of you that is still alive and still wants to grow knocking on the door. The plateau is not a sign that you are finished. It is a sign that you have outgrown your current shape and have not yet found the next one. The difference between a plateau and a dead end. It helps to be precise about what you are actually facing, because stuck can mean several different things, and they have different ways out. Sometimes the plateau is about the role. You have learned everything this particular job has to teach you, and there is no realistic next step inside it. Sometimes it is about the place. The company is small, or static, or the layer above you is not moving, so there is no room regardless of how good you are. And sometimes, this is the uncomfortable one, the plateau is about a specific skill or habit you have not built yet, something that is quietly capping you, and no one has told you what it is. There is an old line worth sitting with here. Do not be swayed by surface appearances. Look deeper. The truth is often hidden beneath layers of noise and distraction. The surface appearance is, my career is stuck. The deeper truth is one of those three specific things, and you cannot fix it until you know which one it is. So that is the first real task. Not to feel better. To see clearly. Honest ways to start moving again. Once you have a clearer picture, there are real things you can do. None of them are instant. All of them are within reach. Ask for the truth, directly. Most people on a plateau have never actually asked a senior person they trust a blunt question. What would it take for me to move to the next level specifically, and what is holding me back right now? It is an uncomfortable conversation. It is also one of the highest value conversations available to you, because the answer is often something concrete and fixable that you simply did not know about. People rarely volunteer that information. You usually have to ask. Grow sideways, not just up. We tend to define progress as a higher title, and when the title is not available, we conclude there is no progress to be had. But learning a genuinely new skill, taking on a different kind of project, moving into an adjacent area, these are real growth, and they often open the door to the upward move later. A plateau on the vertical path is sometimes just an invitation to move horizontally for a while, become visible, not just good. A quietly common reason for plateaus is that you are doing strong work that the people who make decisions cannot see. Being excellent in private does not move a career. You do not have to become someone you are not. But the people deciding your future should actually know what you are doing and what you are capable of. If they do not, that gap alone can keep you flat for years. Take one real action this month. A plateau breeds endless thinking, analyzing, weighing, wondering, and very little doing. There is a line I keep returning to: 100 theories without a single action are worthless. Even one small step taken with determination changes everything. The step does not have to be dramatic. One honest conversation, one new skill begun, one application sent to test the wider market. Movement is what breaks the spell of stuckness, and the size of the first move matters far less than the fact of it. The question underneath, the plateau. Sometimes a stuck feeling is not really about the speed of your career at all. It is about direction. You are not moving forward partly because some quiet part of you is no longer sure this is the direction you want to move in. The plateau is the pause that lets that finally get a word in. That is worth taking seriously rather than rushing past. What would actually feel like a meaningful next chapter for you? Not the one you're supposed to want, but the one that would make the work feel alive again. You may not have a clean answer, but asking the question honestly is itself a form of progress, and it sometimes reveals that the climb you've been frustrated about is a ladder leaning against the wrong wall. There is something steadying in this thought. In life, we are victorious when we are growing, developing, and challenging ourselves. We are defeated when we stop trying. Notice what that does not say. It does not say you win by getting promoted or by hitting some title by a certain age. It says you are doing well as long as you are still growing and still trying. By that measure, the very fact that you are bothered by this plateau, that you have not made peace with standing still, means you have not been defeated at all. The discomfort is the proof you are still in the game. This stretch is not the whole story. Careers are long, and almost none of them move in a straight upward line. They have flat stretches, slow years, periods where it feels like nothing is happening. Then something shifts. A conversation, a new skill that finally lands, a role that opens up, a move you finally make, and suddenly there is motion again. The flat stretch was not the end. It was the part right before the next thing, the part that just did not announce itself. You are not done. You are not past your best. You are in the quiet part of the story, the part where the next chapter is being set up even though you cannot see it yet. Pick one honest step this month. Ask the blunt question. Learn the new thing. Let yourself be seen. The plateau ends for the people who keep moving across it, and you are already restless enough to be one of them. Be patient with yourself and keep walking. That's the wisdom for today. If something here landed for you, share it with one person who might need to hear it too. Take it slow. I'll see you tomorrow on Lotus Lane Daily.